Starting the stream. Stream is open.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
The following broadcast is brought to you by Marked Out Wrestling Podcast. Marked Out Wrestling Podcast is not affiliated, nor do our opinions reflect those of WWE, NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, or any other professional wrestling promotion.
But I just gotta know one thing. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready, kids?
Marked Out Wrestling Podcast presents Brian.
Do you think I'll ever find the right woman?
Oh, God. Yes, man. Come on, dude. You're great.
Golda.
Rub Vaseline all over your hiney and tell you that it's special and different from everyone else's.
And Jody Robb.
Shit! What are you fucking both doing? Good Lord!
This is the Weekly Takedown.
Nobody cares! Nobody cares!
What's going on, everybody? Episode 145 of Marked Out Universe's The Takedown. And we got our boys, we got our normal crew in here. And I noticed the trend. I always introduce everybody as Mr.
You do.
I'm going to continue it.
Because you're respectful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have Mr. Golda. How are you, bud?
I'm doing fabulous. You are the gentleman of hosting, sir.
Thank you. I try. Like we said, we try to keep this one a highbrow show, so if I can keep it cordial, I will.
Okay.
As always, we have none other than I think he was one time. Were you ever in the Brood?
I had a dream.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Rody Robb. How are you, sir?
Hello, sir. Hello.
He is the maestro of mixing.
I am the maestro. I like the maestro of mixing.
The maestro.
I'm off the top of the dome right there for you.
Not bad.
All right. And do we want to introduce the board?
Sure. On the board, we have Matt Golda. We'll start with him.
Hey, Matt.
Daniel Price on the board. Noah is on the board. JVL Shadow is on the board. The mayor of Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, Upload Test, is here as well. We're being praised for starting before 5:30.
Before 5:30?
Actually, starting on time is what Upload said. So you've actually started on time. Huh?
No, we usually start on time.
You know, I'm going to tell you guys break some kayfabe here.
Oh, no.
And it's always
He's lying.
It's always before the show. I'm sitting there watching the clock, and Brian, you got 2 minutes. Brian, you got 1 minute. He's like, it's okay, dude. It's okay. We can start late.
No, I never said we could start. Actually, no, that's not true. I have said that.
Exactly. Nice try.
However, I didn't today, and when we're here,
Yeah.
5 o'clock sharp.
Well, you were here
Eastern.
at 3:30. I'd hope so.
That's true.
Yeah, build 1,000 bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get some housekeeping out of the way, please?
We can absolutely do that, Brian.
Housekeeping! Housekeeping!
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping!
Not now.
Housekeeping!
Go away.
I come in anyway?
Welcome to Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, and here are your housekeeping notes. Please listen and watch us as we expand our content for you, the Marked Out Universe. Monday Night Rawsome, Tuesday Night Smartdown, Thursday NXT Takedown, Bob vs. the World, The Weekly Squash, The Power Slam Dance Show with Brian and Golda. Our heavy-handed heavies will discuss and interview indie talent throughout the country, coast to coast. You can join the conversation on Twitter at SmartMarkShow or call the fan line 704-444-0084 during the show, or you can leave a message for our next one. Visit markedoutwrestling.com for all other social media platforms. We are excited to announce that Marked Out Wrestling has now joined the Bubba Radio Army. Visit BubbaArmyRadio.com for listings. Get connected. Get connected. Get connected. Get connected.
Oh my God!
I said no.
Okay, I clean?
No, get out of here.
I stick finger in your mouth? Housekeeping?
Okay.
Okay.
I do want to do one thing before you move on here, Brian.
Yeah.
I need to play this quick sound effect.
Meet Bitch Brian.
And not for you.
Okay.
Hitman's on the board.
Oh, hey, Hitman.
There you go.
Thank you.
That was that. So you want to do, here's a little sound effect for you.
Oh. Yes. Hey, Kiara.
Hi, Kiara.
Kiara,
I love what she just drops in. It's awesome.
don't you look nice today? Ooh.
You do, actually. Yeah. So I guess we're going to get into a little bit of some bullet points with our man, Mr. Golda. There it is, Mr. again. I'm going to see if I can't do it. Let's see if I can try that.
Okay.
Golda, take it away, please.
All right, just got a couple quick hitters for you guys. If you guys want somebody to blame for that horrible shit show of a House of Horrors match, you can blame none other than Michael P.S. Hayes.
God, it's one of them things like when you hear somebody did something and you go, wow, that I should have known that before anybody said it. I should have known Michael P.S. Hayes was responsible for that fucking garbage.
Yeah, that had old school wrestling just kind of written all over it, and I don't know, that does make sense because it seems out of place.
Right. Apparently, he's been pitching that match to Vince McMahon for like the last 15 years, and Vince finally said, "Oh fuck it, just run it."
Yeah. Well,
goddamn pal.
Goddamn pal. Pronouns. I don't know. Okay.
Ay.
All right. Here's another quick thing. Titus O'Neil posted a picture on Instagram yesterday that had a lot of superstars in it. It had, it had Matt Hardy, Curtis Axel. It also had Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns in it together.
Unacceptable.
Being very peachy and cordial with each other.
Can't have that.
But eventually Titus O'Neil, took it down because I'm pretty sure Vince called him right away and said, "Take that fucking shit down."
I was as a small kid, I'm not going to give you the details of the situation, but I was in a position where I came into a room and I saw Sting and Lex Luger sit on a couch chatting, having a good time. Now, currently at that time, they were feuding. They were heavy rivals. And I was a kid, so I'm deep into kayfabe. So my response was, you guys aren't supposed to be friends. And then they immediately started whooping each other's asses around the room.
Seriously? Are you really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So it reminded me of this. It's like we all know that, that these guys are friends or whatnot outside. But even in that moment that I was in, these guys felt so strongly about the characters and the roles they played that they trashed each other in front of a 9-year-old boy just to keep the illusion for that kid's fantasy. So to me, the era of social media is what it is. But seeing these two together in the midst of a very brutal feud is just unacceptable.
It definitely breaks like the childlike whimsy that it brings.
Well,
right?
if you ask the old territory guys like JBL and other guys, they'll tell you that, when they used to go city to city, town to town, I mean, they carried that character when they went out. If they were a heel, they were an asshole to people. If they were a face, they were great to people. And they did not associate with those who they were currently had a rivalry with in that town.
My dad always tells a story to me that he one time he was at a wedding and he saw the Iron Sheik at the hotel bar. And he actually went up to him. He said, "Ah, Sheiky!" And Sheik just kind of turned to him and just gave him a fucking stare. And my dad just turned around and left, and that was that. So I mean, maybe that was character, or maybe that was just him being drunk and just being mean.
Being him,
or a little bit of both. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
right.
I mean, at least he kind of carried that character, and
sure.
And I mean, my dad never forgot it.
Yeah, we want to welcome Paul Smith on the board as well as Juan. Juan is
What's
here.
up, guys?
Yeah.
Golda, you got anything else, bud?
Yeah, we have something real quick. Apparently, T.J. Perkins' name has been changed just to TJP.
Officially?
Officially, it is on the WWE website. If you watch 205 Live or on Raw, you'll notice that they only said TJP. They didn't say T.J. Perkins once. I can't believe I didn't notice it earlier.
I wish I had a sound effect that went, "Who cares?"
Yeah, you could play that little part in the beginning.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, there you go.
Nobody cares. I mean, thanks for the information. I'm not dogging on your your journalistic skills there, Golda, but really.
It's just dumb. I can't believe they would do that.
Yeah, that's going to get him over more.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like going from Adrian Neville to Neville.
Maybe because he's a heel. Maybe this is just they're kind of tweaking his character a little bit.
When he was in Evolve, I believe it was Evolve, when he went, his heel run was as TJP. So that's the only connection I have to
maybe he pitched it and they were like, "Hey, that's a good idea."
I think it's another example of lazy millennialism.
Why?
Where you take words that are phrases that could be said as easy as the letters, but hey, let's just break it down the letters to make it dumb.
You got RVD.
Well, RVD was always RVD though, and he still said Rob Van Dam all the time.
That's true.
Or, Big E used to be Big E Langston.
Yeah,
now it's just Big E.
Antonio Cesaro. They always do that. They always shorten the names.
Right.
I don't know.
All right. Another good one. This is actually somewhat intriguing. This weekend in Norwich, England, they are set to do the TV tapings for the new UK show that will be airing on the network.
Ooh.
Tickets are still available. So
let's go.
Let's hop on a plane right now with the $0 in my bank account.
So do they actually have like a date for the UK show then?
Not a premiere date, but if they're taping it now, it's premiering soon.
Okay.
I would guess sometime after their UK tour.
Noah, leave Paul alone.
Oh God.
Oh God.
He's asking him the question.
God damn it.
Dana Price says at Rob, amen. It is like skit like that skit David Spade did on SNL back in the day where they were shortening words trying to be cool. I have a friend that always texts me the word, like every time he answers me, he answers with cool, but he spells it COO because I guess the fucking L at the end was so hard to type.
Or K. People would say K instead of OK.
Kewl.
Okay.
Cool. Oh my God, that's so
It's my best Adam impersonation. Okay.
I don't think the board's loading for me on my side.
Okay. Are you on the right one?
Yeah.
Are you on last night's show or Tuesday night's show?
I don't think so.
You sure?
Anywho, maybe. Golda, what else?
And just one more. Apparently, Jack Swagger has confirmed his new indie name. He will be going by formerly known as Jack Swagger. And his reasoning for this is because he built up 10 years with the name and he doesn't want to give it up, even though he doesn't own the rights to it.
Right. So I love that, but here's what I also can add to it, and I don't know if you heard us before when we were talking about it, but one of the things that he wants to do, because like Golda said, he wants to keep the name Jack Swagger. He said, what if I change it to the artist formerly known as Jack Swagger, and I become the real French American, and so that he can pronounce it Jacques Swagger.
Wow, I think it's absolutely...
Come on, let's go. That's awesome.
I mean, I'm sure that was a joke, but even
right.
that, like, could you imagine his redneck ass up there trying to pretend to be fucking French?
The pizza. Almost like when Tracy Smothers, he was in FBI. Come on. He wasn't an Italian.
No, not at all.
Right, he's from fucking Nashville or whatever the hell it is.
Yes.
Jack Swagger needs to, or the artist formerly known as Jack Swagger.
Jacques Swagger.
Jacques Swagger needs to just accept the fact that his name wasn't shit when he left WWE, and other people in indies have changed their name and been just as successful. If he's that good, he doesn't need that name.
I wonder what he actually would change it to.
Inner Tube Man.
Swaggin' Jack?
There you go.
Swaggin' Jack, baby.
Swaggin' Jack. Sounds like a porn star.
Man, what's Swaggin' Jack doing at the Impact Zone?
Yak Swagger. Yak Swagger. Swagger?
Right.
Shut up, Noah.
Jesus.
All right, and I have just one for the independent circuit.
Yes.
As Brian reported on Tuesday, Adam Cole's contract is officially up with Ring of Honor. He is free to sign anywhere. Don't count WWE as a lock to sign him because New Japan is coming at him hard.
Really?
Hard, because I think they're pretty sure that Kenny Omega is gone after this next contract. Well, so they're trying to get the next big American star that's going to work for them.
Where do you think Kenny Omega's going to go?
Well, they already announced Omega versus Okada, too.
And he's going to win that one, probably. And he's going to get a run before he leaves.
Who? Omega?
Yes.
You think he would come back to WWE?
Yes. I mean, he was very torn on signing this last time. He was very close.
Right. I remember that, yeah, there was a little bit of delay. But I guess a little bit about Adam Cole. I mean, he was already in New Japan.
Right.
He already had his... a little bit of a run there.
Right, well, not much, because he was only when they had the cross promotion between Ring of Honor and New Japan. He was never on every New Japan show.
No, but
the Young Bucks are on almost every New Japan show.
He wrestled on Wrestle Kingdom.
Right, but that was the Ring of Honor title match again when he
dropped it.
When he beat Bobby Fish's partner. Bobby Fish's partner. Kyle O'Reilly. Thank you. Yeah. Because Kyle O'Reilly's contract was coming up, and he dropped it to Adam Cole.
I wonder, though. I mean, there's so many guys coming over to NXT now. I mean, do you think he's actually? Do you think New Japan is actually a threat to sign him as opposed to coming to NXT?
I don't think they care. I think their deck is so stacked at NXT. They're like, hey, we'd love to have you, but if you want to go somewhere else, okay, we got people pulling in tickets.
Right.
So you don't think they're actually really making a push for him? You think it's more like, hey, do you want to? You can come here if you want. We'll take you, but we're not really going to go out of our way.
I guarantee it's a call from Hunter to him or one of Hunter's, lieutenants, and saying, "Hey, we see that you're free to sign somewhere. Here's an offer we'd like to extend to you. Let us know. And I don't think they're going to be blowing his fucking phone up when they hear he's going to sign with somebody else or something. They're going to be like, okay, well, once that's done, if you want to try this again, go ahead. But no fucking sweat off our balls. We got Bobby Roode and fucking Ono and Itami and blah, 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 blah.
Otis Dozovich?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one thing, it could be rumors that were started by Adam Cole to try to drive his price up.
That's true.
He does seem like the kind of guy that would do that.
Yeah, JBL Shadow saying that Cole will be, he'll get lost in NXT.
I kind of agree.
Yeah, let's see. Dana Price, Cole cut a promo on Ring of Honor last night wearing a Bucks shirt. He wants to stay in the Bullet Club, but he would go to WWE for the money. And most people absolutely would, because let's face it, and you're not going to get a guaranteed salary anywhere else.
So stay in the Bullet Club, but go to WWE?
Well, if they get enough of them, maybe Vince will actually buy the Bullet Club.
Carl Anderson, actually, he's opening a wrestling. This is kind of a little bit off topic, but about the Bullet Club. He's promoting his wrestling school with Joey Mercury as the Bullet Dojo.
It's the other guy.
Mercury?
No, not Anderson.
Gallows. That's what I meant. I'm sorry, Gallows.
Yeah,
Gallows.
It's in Georgia. Yeah.
Right.
About an hour outside
so
of
he's going to teach him how to botch all day?
No, I'm just saying that it's interesting that he's still promoting Bullet.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, because it's the Bulletproof Dojo.
Right.
All right.
But yeah, I'm done. So let's move on with the show, baby.
Let's go.
All right. Oh, wrong button.
You hear that every night, don't you?
Yeah.
Hey-o. All right, so we got the big four coming up today, and you know what, Rob? I want you. Can you please just get the number 4 just ready to go?
It's ready.
Let's do it.
4.
All right, Roddy, this is your life part 2, and I'll just say I was way off. I was hoping that that they'd maybe turn this into some sort of twist or something, but it was more or less the same thing that we got last week.
And I can safely say that Rody Rob was 100% correct.
Yes.
They're building him up as maybe the heir apparent top babyface.
Yeah, I'll say this, as being the biggest critic out of our group about that part 1 of This Is Your Life. This one was better in the sense that, okay, we saw some indie shit. We saw a growth of indie shit, and they referenced Ring of Honor, which I thought was just odd.
Maybe they have a little under the table deal so that they can, because the only footage they showed was WWE talent. Like they showed Tyler Black, Kevin Steen, Okada. They had showed him with Okada, wasn't it? Okada's not WWE, but I'm pretty sure that was an Okada match. Was it the other Japanese guy that just signed? One that screams all the time.
I don't know.
It was Tozawa.
Yeah.
Tozawa.
I don't think it's as much as a dealings going on as I think they finally just realized that they don't give a shit. Like, what's going to do, if we could reference them, what the fuck's going to happen? People are going to start watching them over us? No. We're the WWE. We're a worldwide brand. Okay, people in South California, if you want to watch fucking Ring of Honor, knock yourself out kind of thing.
Well, I mean, the thing that surprised me was that he was wearing the Ring of Honor shirt. I don't know if they just did that just because they were shooting this whole thing and that's how they tied it in.
Well, look, here's the deal. If they called him many times Mr. Ring of Honor, right?
Which is 100% true. He was there forever.
So what they're doing right now is basically they're having pull the measuring sticks out, guys. We're going to go toe-to-toe Ring of Honor and show how big our dick is, and let everybody know that we have Mr. Ring of Honor on our show. So which one is better, guys? Is it going to be NXT or Ring of Honor? We keep getting their guys. We even got the guy. So
it's true.
Yeah. But let me just finish. I'll throw it to you. I'm sorry.
No, go on.
Look, again, I still hold and maintain my opinion that this entire Roderick Strong segment was something that should have been a 24, whatever they call that shit on the network, or a DVD special. This did not need to be in the wrestling program.
I agree. I thought, and I'm a big fan of Roddy, as you guys know, but I thought that either do it like you said, Rob, or maybe just keep it to a week. Shorten it a little bit, or do something.
Leave all the heartfelt shit out of it. Well, show me how he trained.
Show us how. I mean, we saw it was just very long-winded. I'll say.
Yeah, I don't think that he would have wore that Ring of Honor shirt in training
Right.
Unless they told him to.
I think they told him to.
There's no way anybody that worked anywhere else is going to show up in WWE wearing some former company shit.
Agreed.
Unless it's like PWX. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, they're a small regional promotion. They're not the national standard of indies like Ring of Honor is.
Daniel Price is saying that Ring of Honor already owns, in quotes, somewhat WWE with their intro. The video package at the opening of the show says, creating excellence. Then it shows Punk, Danielson, Rollins, Cesaro, etc., etc., etc.
In the beginning of what show?
In the beginning of that little segment there, when it kept flashing to the wrestlers like Golda was talking about. You know, they showed creating excellence, and then I don't know if they owned WWE in that intro, because basically what they're saying is...
No. He's saying the Ring of Honor TV intro.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, on their TV show every week.
Do they do that really?
Yes.
Of course
Yes.
they'd be stupid not to.
I've literally never watched an episode.
No, but...
I watched one.
But, I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean,
yeah.
Basically, they're just saying that, hey, we're actually the feeding system for WWE, not really NXT. We're the guys that do that.
Yeah, no, I remember I worked in radio one time and on a morning show, a very popular morning show in the Southeast, syndicated show, and I was doing a side job, right? And I'm hosting different venues and different things, and one of the guys on the show said, hey, man, so when you announce yourself, do you announce yourself as, you know, Rhodey Rob from the Ace and TJ show? And I was like, no. And he goes, well, you'd be fucking stupid not to. So we're not going to get a cut from you, but if you came from there, if you can use us, use us. So Ring of Honor, fuck it, it's their footage. If they can use that, then use it.
Right. It's like also like any indie guy, if they show up on WWE TV, they can say formerly seen on or as seen on when they promote themselves on all the other indie shows, and it draws more attention.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Like there's the guy, John Schuyler for PWX. He was on Ring of Honor, the tryouts, and he was on NXT and Raw, too. And any indie show he's on, besides PWX, it always says, as seen on Ring of Honor and NXT every time.
Right.
Well, I personally think that this is going to end up being, Hideo and Roderick going to have their little number one contender match. And I personally see Hideo has to get over here. Hideo, right? He has to get over.
Hideo.
But they just pumped Roderick Strong up to all... completely.
The guy was crying.
Right. So what's going to happen, in my opinion, somebody's going to fuck Roderick in this match, fuck him over in this match, and then...
Thank you for correcting yourself.
Yeah, start a program with Roderick, and I don't know who it would be, but that's kind of my thought.
Interesting.
Maybe Bobby.
Maybe you think Bobby?
Maybe.
I mean, they might be using Roderick to face Bobby at the SummerSlam NXT.
It's true.
In Brooklyn.
Kind of save this. So
right.
Hideo and Bobby at Chicago, and then save Roddy and...
Right.
And
yeah, I guess we're getting way ahead. I'm sorry.
Why?
This is topic one.
Oh. No, well, yeah, no, that's why when I was writing it out, we'll get to it. Let's do number 3.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, number 3.
3.
Stakes and weights, brother.
Stakes and weights, baby. Stakes and weights.
Beef.
So finally, we had our boys, Heavy Machinery, and if they are Heavy Machinery, Golda, my heavy-handed heavy, we are heaviest machinery.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'll just say that. But so they called out AOP. Well, first of all, they had a match against two, I guess... I was going to say unnamed guys, but they actually had names. Let's see. We had Ricardo Watts and Hector Kunsman.
Boys need some protein.
They do need some protein.
Yeah.
They were tiny. Oh my god.
A little bit more on the shoulders.
Yeah.
And they had it was about a 4 to 5 minute squash match, but Heavy Machinery, this is something that we have not seen from them. They cut a promo afterwards.
And it wasn't horrible.
It was not horrible.
Well, if it wasn't for the dozer, then
Big Dozy.
It would have been subpar if it wasn't for him. But obviously, this is why I love wrestling fans. It takes so little to get over with them if you do it right. All they had to do in that fucking segment is say beef and steak and weights, and now every time those guys come out, the crowd is going to chant beef and steak and weights. So they are over as of this moment
already. And what do you guys think of Golda? What do you think of their finish?
Oh, with the double?
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. Oh, that was so amazing.
They did that at TakeOver Orlando when we were there.
That's right, yeah.
It's fucking brutal, man.
It is. I mean, some things also to note, during that match, what's his fucking nuts? I keep wanting to say Dozovich. Tucker Knight.
Okay.
And did you see when he did the double underhook overhead belly to belly suplex and he tossed him to almost through the fucking roof?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, these guys they're legit. And so, like we said, I was saying before, they had the squash match and then they cut a promo afterwards and challenging AOP. Do we really think that they're actually a threat to the Authors of Pain?
I think they're absolutely a threat. I don't think they're going to get that opportunity right away.
I feel like this was a little bit quick.
Right. I mean, because DIY had in the promo after, we're saying, we respect, what the heavies are doing, but, the line starts here.
And I've heard rumors of other programs starting with Heavy Machinery. Some of the tag teams we haven't seen come up yet. I've heard that they're supposed to be tangling it up in a program with Red Shoes, White Shoes.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm just saying. I think Authors of Pain's a little quick for them. Obviously, people want to see the monsters versus the monsters, but I don't think it's time for that yet.
I don't think so either.
Right.
And also, I mean, we were kind of saying it before too. Where does this leave DIY? Because there have been some rumblings that they might get called up in the next couple months.
Yeah.
I don't. Speculation. We can talk about it, but I mean,
who was it? Was it Bob that said he heard they were coming up after something?
After SummerSlam or around SummerSlam?
No, after the next. Is it Backlash? Is that the next?
Yeah, Backlash is
Yeah, I think it was. Right. He said that after Backlash they were coming up.
Yeah, because I mentioned on our show after the takeover when we finally got back from Mania that I thought that they would get the title shot at the next takeover and then come up, and then that leaves the next team who's ready for AOP to go for SummerSlam.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a little bit left for DIY and NXT.
I don't.
What? Really?
What's left?
I don't know. Well, I feel like either bring them up or do something with them. You can't just have them sit there and have Heavy Machinery and AOP. I mean,
I think they're going to let them sell some tickets until they're ready to start whatever they're going to start with them on the main roster. They're just kind of like, hold tight, guys. We don't want to bring you up prematurely. We've done that too much. Let's kind of keep you down here. You guys can sell tickets to events and and shit like that. And then we'll bring you up when you're ready.
Do we see a DIY somehow getting into a match at
Takeover?
NXT, Takeover with them in a triple threat?
I mean, it has to be.
We just did it though.
It wouldn't be a triple threat. I think they said they would do a one-on-one rematch.
Yeah, that's. I think it's going to be on an NXT program. Though.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to save that for Takeover.
They've had some highlighted takeover matches already. To me, that would get into the repetitive market where it's like, okay, we've seen this,
right? Daniel Price on the board says the only thing left for DIY NXT is to stay there and not get touched by the Vince Tag Team curse.
Well,
that's true too.
Well, there's also been reports that Vince hasn't been at the recent main event taping or main roster taping.
That's right.
So,
right.
Maybe some of the new stuff we're seeing is a result of Vince not being there. So maybe the curse has been lifted.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Okay.
Anything else left on the board, or we want to move on?
No.
2.
That was a quick no.
No.
I had already read it.
No. Very good. So number 2, we have the fallout of the Women's Battle Royal that was announced last week, and I was looking very forward to it. As you guys may have, I may have mentioned something here or there in just the passings that we've had in the past couple days of seeing each other, right, Rody Rob?
Yeah.
Just being, hey, there's someone, this wrestler, this, I don't really know anything. Candice LeRae,
I didn't know she was in the match till she got eliminated.
Are you seriously?
Well, she's so tiny, and everybody else was like was towered over.
Well, they weren't highlighting her. I mean,
no, of course not.
Right.
First of all, I'm kidding, because obviously I was fucking looking forward to this since they announced it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to pull a Rody Rod to break a little kayfabe behind the curtain, when this match came on, Brian disappeared for about 10, 15 minutes, and then came back.
I had to go do something.
Yeah.
I had a phone call.
Brian, we're going on in 2 minutes. Give me 3. Yeah.
Yeah. No, give me 1. No, give me half that time. No, you're good. So we had the match, and I mean, it was an okay battle royal. We had some faces that we weren't really familiar with. Some other NXT women wrestlers. Then we had some others such as Candice LeRae. And who are some of the other ones? Golda, we had Rachel
Ellering.
Ellers.
They called her Ellers.
Rachel Ellers.
Bianca Blair was in there.
Bianca Blair, who she had a fantastic elimination.
She did.
Where she was kind of hung up over the top rope, and I think it was Peyton Royce or Billie Kay, one of them.
But you don't grab a black woman's hair. You don't do that.
No, you don't. Definitely not.
Yeah, Kara afterwards. Kara's like, no, you don't do that. That's unacceptable.
Hey, they're iconic.
It's iconic.
And pulled her ponytail and a great elimination.
Yeah.
Awesome to be on TV, but
she's one that I saw. She did a match at Access, and she's a beast. And they did a whole promo package on her on the NXT Twitter page kind of highlighting her gimmick and kind of her skill set. Right. She is a beast. I'm telling you, look out for that one.
Yeah, so there was a couple, there was some faces that we knew, some that we didn't, but it was...
The Marine chick was there.
The Marine chick was there, that's right. The UFC, the MMA fighter was there.
DeVille, I think her name is now.
She changed it.
Yeah, Cruella.
Yeah. Let's see. Gold, are you looking it up right now?
Manny Rose was not in it.
Let's see.
I was very sad about that. Yeah. I was wanting to see that booty.
Lacey Evans, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Nikki Cross, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott, Ember Moon, and then just a bunch of others. I'm not going to read them through.
I mean, it doesn't really matter who all was in the match. Candice LeRae, she was the last of the non-NXT regulars.
Good point.
To be in the match, which is good for her. Maybe that shows a little faith that maybe they'll sign her down the road.
I was saddened that after noticing that she was in the match when she got eliminated, they went to commercial break to introduce, probably 3 or 4 of these girls. Because they were in the ring, obviously, when they came back.
Right.
I would have been very curious to hear the pop in that crowd when they introduced Candice LeRae.
Yeah, you know what? That sucks that we didn't get to see that. That's a good point.
The whole crowd was chanting Candice LeRae for like a good 2 minutes of the Battle Royal.
Well, there you go.
I'm pretty sure they muffled it down a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't want the crowd hijacking it for someone that they don't even have signed.
Maybe it was DIY just kind of screaming. It was Johnny in the under the stands. Yeah, go baby, go!
But I think it was before we get on to the actual the outcome and what we really want to talk about here, I think the Battle Royal was an excellent way to highlight what's happening in the women's division in NXT,
right, sure.
which is leaps and bounds above the main roster.
Oh yeah, and now now that we know the results, we had Asuka come out, and now we're gonna have a 4-way. And Golda, you brought up a good point before we came on air as to why you think that this is the reason why they're set up this match at TakeOver.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like it because everybody here knows that I want her to leave NXT as the champ, but they may have had this 4-way so that they can get the belt off of Asuka without actually taking a loss.
Right.
And I hate, I don't know, I hate that it sounds too perfect.
I mean, that's the exact same way that they took the belt off Charlotte and put it on Sasha.
So... Go on.
In NXT.
No, I was just going to say that I absolutely love this heel version of Asuka.
Me too.
She's so like catty and like she doesn't care. She took this little heel thing they gave her and she is fucking running with it.
Oh, she's great, and because she doesn't have to do that much.
And you could look at her face and tell she loves it because it's something different.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys think that though that'll translate this character to if she goes to if she goes to Raw or SmackDown?
I think that Asuka is leaps and bounds. Like, I hate to keep saying that phrase, but leaps and bounds above the women on the main roster. I mean, I love Alexa. I think she's got it.
Well, I'm not saying wrestling acumen. I'm talking about personality, and obviously she has a big barrier against her.
Well, no, I think there nobody can touch her. Alexa's the closest on the main roster that can touch her charisma and her personality. Asuka has so much is said just from her expressions that she doesn't need to say much, and just her laugh and her cat. It's wonderful.
I mean, I hate to use this term because it's like a millennial, like young people term, but she has so much swag. All her movements and stuff, like the way she does, and when she comes out, and her outfits, like her ring gear, where it's got a million different colors. It looks like she just went blindfolded into the closet and picked some shit out and put it on.
Yeah, like there's like the thong or whatever it is.
Yeah,
it goes over. Yeah, she is wonderful as a face with her charisma and the way she carries it. She's even better as a heel. But I agree that this is the opportunity for Asuka to lose that belt without losing. But then I do believe that when is this match going to take place? At TakeOver?
TakeOver, yes.
TakeOver.
Next Saturday?
Uh-huh.
Or 2 Saturdays?
Okay, so... Well, that kind of fucks up my my plan in my head because I think Asuka's going to get a clean loss before she leaves from somebody.
Clean loss?
Yeah. And I'm thinking Ember, so maybe Ember gets the belt in this fatal 4-way and then gets a clean victory over Asuka before Asuka goes somewhere.
I mean, if she loses the fatal 4-way, they're not going to make her the champ again and do the Shinsuke Finn Balor, treatment. Where there going to be multiple champs. She's going to lose it, and then she's going to lose a match, and then she's going to go up.
And she'll get I think her rematch will be on regular NXT programming.
Champion.
I don't know. I think they would. I think that's a SummerSlam.
You think
match.
they would keep her that long?
That is a SummerSlam caliber match. The rematch with
keep who?
SummerSlam caliber meaning let's have Asuka at SummerSlam.
Right.
Not NXT. Not NXT. Well, she could.
She could do both.
She could.
I think I would rather them because she's not going to go to Raw because their women's division's stacked already. And I wouldn't put Asuka on SmackDown right now because that's just a fucking clusterfuck. And I feel like she would just get lost in the clusterfuck. So I would wait till they fix whatever the fuck is going wrong with that and then bring her up.
JVL saying, I don't understand why they are combining the Cross Riot feud with Asuka and Riot, and they all deserve their own feud. And I think this is a good way to really compel that feud, to push that feud, because like we just saw in that tag match, was it a tag match we saw, or at Raw? It was the triple threat, right?
Which one?
The one where they're going for it was Seth Rollins and Finn Balor and
The Miz, yes.
for the IC title.
Mm-hmm.
I think same thing here. In that match, we saw 3 different feuds be created separately by the 3 participants, right?
Sure.
And in this case, again, you have 4 girls. You can develop 2 different feuds within this Fatal 4-Way, have a great match, a great program with all 4 of them, and then splinter them after TakeOver to 2 separate rivalries. So I don't think they're necessarily doing a disservice by putting them together. I think it's actually it's a good build.
I completely agree with you. I think that like you said, it just kind of plants the seeds for other feuds to go, to kind of go their own way after these ones are kind of complete.
Right. Daniel Price said that I'm thinking they bring Asuka to SmackDown to join their heel faction since Becky stayed face.
Actually, he said, "Yeah, Rob," but go ahead.
Well, you weren't reading it, so I figured I'd read it for you.
Yeah, you could have said, "Yeah, Rob."
No. I'm not making your head any bigger than it already is.
Easy fellas.
Hey, you hush your mouth, sir.
Me? Whoa.
Love you.
Wow.
No, but I mean, I could see that happening, but I really want them to avoid bringing her up because that's just a giant clusterfuck. And the way that they have been really on point with their call-ups the last few months.
I'm sorry, go
ahead. With the way they brought up Ty, and they're pushing Nakamura to the moon, but they're saving his actual debut match for the pay-per-view. And they were doing great, but with the Revival until Dash Wilder broke his jaw.
Right.
They're doing a good job with it. I don't think they're gonna just hastily bring Asuka up just for some little gimmick 3-on-3 that they're doing right now. That just doesn't make sense.
No. Anything else on the board, guys?
Charlotte versus Asuka would kick ass, says Noah.
Okay. Yes, good statement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kick ass or no ass?
Oh, stop it.
We're not going there, Golda.
We're not. That's all I'm saying.
Not saying anything.
Hey, she worked her ass off to get here. So,
fuck. Can you press the thing for that thing, please?
1.
I'm sorry, I had to. I'm sorry.
Noah's like, fuck you, man.
And speaking of Roddy, we had this was a very heavy Roderick Strong episode. I gotta say.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't sound too excited.
Heavy as in like emotionally heavy. Like, this was heavy, man.
Heavy, man.
Yeah.
They announced that we're going to be having a Roderick Strong versus Hideo Itami for the #1 contendership next week at NXT TakeOver Chicago.
Yes.
And Golda, are you for one excited for this match?
Yes, I am, because I love seeing Roderick Strong in the ring, and I want to see Hideo Itami work against somebody that actually has talent besides Kona Reeves.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know where they're going to go with this, because the package really seems like they're going to push Roderick Strong, but at the same time, you just had Itami, hitting the GTS on Bobby Roode, 2 weeks ago.
And it's also interesting to note that these two guys are both bona fide faces.
Yes.
Clearly Roddy is. Especially because he didn't do my turn that I thought he was going to do in part 2. But anyway,
I think Hideo is kind of that tweener.
You think so?
I think he's definitely a face, but he's not a baby face. He's
kind of like how Finn is right now, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
The in between, he's still looking for the crowd support, but he's not begging for it. He's not kissing babies and
no kissing babies. No, Roddy was.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Roddy is like full baby face. Hideo is like, like me.
Yeah. I just think with him though, right now I feel like the crowd doesn't really know who he is. Hideo.
Yeah.
Well, because every time he has he gains a little bit of momentum, boom, something happens and he's out for a few months, and then everyone has to, they kind of forget about him.
Somebody said earlier about that, said Hideo picks up a cup of coffee, tears his shoulder.
Yeah, really, the guy, I feel bad for the guy because I want him to do well. He came over with so much steam from Japan, and now everyone's still. This is what, the third time that we have to kind of get reacclimated to him.
We've seen him on NXT programming. We've seen him, we've seen him personally in a live show. And NXT fans are over. He's over with them. Right. He's got nothing to do. I don't know how he translates to anything beyond NXT. I think a lot of the main roster fans are like, oh, look, he's still in CM Punk's move. Who is this guy with the torn up shoulder?
They'll just chant CM Punk.
Right.
They will.
Right. Earlier, somebody on the board had a point. It was way back, so I'm not gonna try to search for it. But they said that WWE owes a lot to Kenta Kobayashi, which is his real name, for inventing the go to sleep and letting Punk steal it and get over with it.
Sure. Yeah.
So whoever put that on the board, thank you. You can pat yourself on the back.
Pat yourself on the back there.
Noah says, am I the only one who's not the biggest Hideo fan? No, I'm not the biggest Hideo fan either. Maybe it's pure ignorance. I don't know much about him.
Well, not because you don't want to know, just because. Yeah. Right.
I mean, he doesn't wow me. I'll say that. He doesn't wow me. I mean, he does what he needs to do in a ring, but there's nothing flashy about him.
Do you think it's just so you're just talking about his in-ring work then?
Well,
or do you think it's just the total package, not Lex Luger, but just because he right now all we are really seeing is just him in the ring. We don't know anything else outside of that.
Well, okay, when we saw the live show, it was him and Patrick Clark, and it was obviously the comedy match of the night.
Sure.
And within comedy matches, you really get an idea of what somebody's capable of as far as the entertainment side of the business. And even then, he did it well because Patrick Clark was so good at what he was doing. And I got to give props. He was really good at that match.
Yes. Velveteen Dream.
But Hideo, to me, it was kind of like, bleh, in that match. Like, I'll just do what I need to do to get through it. I'll do a couple things and smile at the crowd. They'll eat it up, whatever. But I noticed it. It didn't fool me. I was like, you're the kind of guy that comes to a party and sits in the corner and says nothing to nobody while everybody else is having a fucking ball.
Maybe this is what he needs, though. Maybe this is, maybe this match against Roderick Strong. This is probably the biggest thing that he's had since his debut, I would say.
Yeah, since he was in the series of matches with Finn for the number one contendership,
right,
against Kevin Owens. I guess I almost called him Steen for a second.
So yeah, maybe this is something maybe Roddy can pull this out of him. Because there's no doubt that they can have a great match. We're not, that's out of the question. It's going to be phenomenal.
Do you guys think that somehow this goes the route of the women tonight, and there's not a clear winner, and old dickhead makes it a triple threat match?
A fatal 4-way and a triple threat match at the same pay-per-view for the two main belts?
I'm not advocating. I'm just saying, do you guys think that could happen?
God, I would hope not. I would hope even, I know Regal doesn't make all the calls, but he does have input. I would hope that him and somebody else like Albert would all go, that's just not a good idea.
Right.
Well, the fact that there's two, like we said, bona fide baby faces in this match, just starting off the top, that's already, it's off. So, really they have options with where they want to go. So, maybe someone turns, maybe someone else comes in and disrupts the match, and like you said, makes it a three-way. I don't know. They have a lot of options. I'm intrigued.
I could see Hideo turning because he did come back, and he used to be kind of smiley a little
Stoic,
bit. Yeah. And now he's just like, he walks around like, fuck you, a little bit. Like,
Who's that?
Hideo.
Itami.
That's what I'm saying. He's just kind of like, I'm here.
Anything on the board?
No. They're talking about a lot of NJPW stuff, and watch him on Pro Wrestling. Noah, completely different dude when he's not limited. It says Daniel Price.
And Hitman's salty with me because I read Daniel Price's thing earlier, but I skipped over his. And then he's like, "Well, Adam would have read it. Don't compare me to
Brian.
Yeah, don't compare me to fucking Adam. I have respect for people. I'm nice."
Ooh, good one. There we go.
He's an angry elf.
All right, so I guess if there's nothing else to talk about with this, we can.
All right, so we had a voicemail.
Did we now?
Yeah, and we were talking about it before the show, and I told you, tell everybody kind of know how this went down. Is normally we save the voicemails for the two main roster shows we do, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do one with the A plus crew here.
That's right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So we're gonna take a voicemail here from we've had him before. He finally identified himself, so we'll let him do that. Here you go.
Well, gentlemen, this is Robert P., the gentleman who sent you that question in regards to Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Glad you enjoyed it. I have another one for you in case you're interested. Now, you may not know this, Luke Harper has a tendency of stealing my phone. I would never tell the man no, so, he has a tendency of taking it whenever he wants to talk to you guys. But considering he's a big man, and there are some rather good large men in the WWE currently, Braun Strowman being one of them, what are your opinions on who you think is one of the best large men in WWE history? You cannot include Andre the Giant because that's just too easy. Again, who do you think was the best at being large, effective, charismatic? That's pretty much what I got for you guys. Keep going strong. Love what you're doing.
I take exception to the Andre thing.
Why is that?
I don't think Andre's in the conversation for best big man all time of WWF.
I mean, he would have been until '92, around when who came around.
He was a shell of himself in the company. I mean, you want to talk WWF or some of the other territories he worked in his prime, then yes, then that's a conversation. But if we're limiting this to WWE, WWF, I don't think Andre's even in that conversation. He's more nostalgic there than anything else.
Yeah, just he was the first Hall of Famer. He's the guy that really put over Hogan. And really, he elevated Hogan to heights that Vince McMahon needed Hogan to be.
Yeah, he played a major part. But if you're going off of the individual, I don't think he's in that conversation.
Interesting. So then, what do you think?
I mean, it's kind of obvious, this answer, isn't it? I mean, it can't be Kevin Nash because he is a horrible in-ring worker and politician, and he can tear quads twice walking to the store.
Yeah, there's really only one answer for the top, I think.
It's Taker, and that's it. I mean, I really think that Kane or Glenn Jacobs, if they used him properly from the start, could have at least given him a run for his money, because talent-wise he was so good. But it all starts with Taker, and everything goes down from there.
The reason why Kane was successful was because of Taker, obviously with the character. But Glenn Jacobs himself, he lacks so much charisma, as we saw with Corporate Kane.
I don't think so. I mean, if you guys are going to say Taker, Kane's got to be up there as far as, and I do agree with you that his career is kind of not because of Taker, but his character. I mean,
I give all credit to his character. Absolutely, I'm just saying if there was no Taker, Glenn Jacobs never would have been. I don't think a successful big man in the business.
Isaac Yankem.
Okay, point. Me
exactly.
Point. Rob.
DDS. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of other big men that really qualify for this conversation.
So when I was thinking of this question, my phone just fell. I almost broke my glasses. Wow. I was kind of applying this to the NXT roster. I thought that's where we were going with it.
Well, that's not what he asked for. I mean, if you want to go NXT, he said all the time.
Let's continue, or maybe afterwards.
We could definitely address people. I don't know how many big men are necessarily on the. I mean,
there's been a few. But let's continue with all time. Let's go back and let's kind of get.
I mean, I think we all agree Taker's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let's narrow down the other ones. Let's dissect the other ones.
Okay.
And include NXT in that. And now I'm curious. I mean, Drew McIntyre's a big dude, but he's been fighting little dudes. So who do you think in NXT in now or past was a big man?
Big E?
Luke Harper?
I don't count Big E.
Luke Harper?
Why not?
Luke Harper, sure, maybe.
Whoa.
Big E's wide, but he's not like.
Yeah, well, we're talking like 6'7"
tall.
and up.
Yeah, the borderline giant.
So Big Dozy does not apply to this.
No. Sorry, I know
fuck you guys.
He's an oak root. I mean, he's beef. I can't think of anybody from NXT that towered over the rest.
Big Cass.
I had Paul Smith said, "What about Vader?" Now, if you count all his Japan work, but we're not counting the Japan work. We're counting just WWF.
Yeah, if we're just saying WWF or WWE, I mean, Vader, he didn't really have all that great of a run.
Yeah, by the time he came to WWE, he was on his last legs.
Yeah, but Vader wasn't a legend as.
Oh, yeah. You got a phone call.
Oh, who do we got?
Pick it up.
We got Noah online. What you got, Noah?
Geez.
Hi, Noah.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's up, man?
I heard you guys talking about big men. I want to bring up a name that probably isn't necessarily best of all time, but probably arguably most underrated. Earthquake / John Tenta.
He was a great worker.
Oh, sorry. You go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying Earthquake was a great character. He was a great gimmick. He was a hard worker.
He wasn't that tall. He was just fat. He was like 6'4" and fat.
Yeah, but I mean, I still consider those big guys.
That's a big guy.
Or a big, when if you think of big men, I don't think of just because if they're tall. I think if they're fucking,
Yeah, but I think they gotta have both.
Yeah, when I think of big man, I don't think of like tall because Big Cass is tall about don't consider him a really big man. I think of big heavy motherfuckers.
Right.
No, see, I think there's the fats and then there's the big men. The big men, no disrespect when I say that. I don't mean that, to be malicious.
Hey, watch your mouth, man.
Hey, calm down, Golda. I'm outweighed here.
By a lot.
I don't mean that to be malicious or mean, but I mean if you look at people like Tugboat and Earthquake, Vader to an extent, although he was still a bit taller.
Bam Bam.
I mean they were big men, but they were space takers.
Right.
Right. A big man is somebody, in my opinion, is somebody who is borderline giant, and I don't consider these guys to be borderline giants.
Eli Cotton.
I had no fucking.
Remember him? Noah knows.
I mean, the only other name that I could really think of that was even a little bit relevant besides Nash would be Sid. I snapped my leg in half vicious.
Well, Hogan.
God.
Hogan's in the
I have
conversation.
half the brain that you do.
Hogan.
Yeah, Hogan was 6'8", 300 fucking pounds. I mean,
Hogan was not 6'8".
He was 6'5" or 6", I think.
He
was
was
the same height as The Rock.
He was 6'8", and then he lost 3 inches.
But Hogan, he was always like when I think of big men, I also think of guys that are considered the underdogs or I consider them like more like gigantic evil villains. With Hogan, he was always considered the good guy underdog. He was always in that good guy underdog role.
And, Nina Marie brings up a good one. Big John Studd.
Oh, absolutely. But, again, Big John Studd was how much did he do for WWF? I mean, he had a couple matches, but...
What about Bam Bam?
No, yeah. I consider Bam Bam to be a big man. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing people here. Test, Bundy, Dana Price, big man list of notables. Bam Bam, Test, Bundy, Stud, Yokozuna. I think Hogan was a big man. He definitely was.
Right. I don't know if I agree with you.
And I'm not joking about Hogan going from 6'8" to 6'5". I mean, his spine compressed from all the leg drops through the years. He literally lost 3 inches of height.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
But I mean, if Robert considers Luke Harper a big man, you have to consider Hogan. You have to consider Test. You have to consider Cass. You got to consider all these guys.
What about the Big Show?
Big Show's great. I think,
how do we not mention the Big Show?
Well, then who's in? Okay, here's a way to do this without just going through everybody and then arguing all of it. A Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of big men?
All right. Well, right off the bat, Taker. He's there, right?
We all agree there. So there's one.
Taker. I would put the Big Show.
I would put
Big Show. For longevity purposes. All right, he company man. He does any gimmick they ask. He puts everybody over. He lost to fucking Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. He deserves it just for that.
Yeah, no. So we all agree. Taker, Big Show.
And he lost to Akibono.
Oh.
Wow.
Taker, Big Show.
Kevin Nash.
Ooh, Gorilla Monsoon, Nina. Ooh, that's a good one.
That is
Nash.
That's a good one.
I
wouldn't put Nash in it.
I wouldn't put Nash there.
I mean, he did a lot for the business in many ways, but yeah, you're right. I mean, he wasn't in the ring. He wasn't that impressive, and
had he stayed in WWE, I mean, that's all speculation, but I mean, if he had stayed in WWF, I don't think he would have had the same run that he did when he went to WCW.
I would put Scott Hall before I would put...
but he definitely wasn't a big man.
He's 6'6".
When he first broke in, he was, but he lost
6'6".
He lost a lot of size.
Look, Taker is the size of that door frame.
Taker, Big Show, Andre, or no?
I would put Vader. If you're not counting WWF as contributions to wrestling in general, I would put Vader.
Taker, Big Show, Kane. There's a 3 of mine.
I would agree with Kane.
And
Vader's a good one.
I would have to go Vader. He did so much for WCW,
New
Japan. I mean, he did so much. He carried promotions as a gaijin, as a white guy in Japan.
I'm gonna break the rules.
Do it.
Well, no, he had a run in WWF, so I can use him. But his most of his glory was in WCW. I'm gonna go Taker, Big Show, Kane, and Barry Windham.
Barry Windham.
He was a big man.
He was a big man. Yeah. On the board, Noah, Andre, Big Show, Undertaker, and obviously the Yeti.
Okay, no, seriously, Noah. I know you're 12 and all and don't really know a lot, but Come on, player. You can do better. Come on.
Yorkie says Vader for fucking sure. Daniel Price, everything Luke Harper is based off of Bruiser Brody. That's a good point too.
Yeah.
I guess he could be there. He's thrown in the conversation. But I mean, for me, I mean, to be honest, I don't really. That's a little bit before. I don't really know too much about Bruiser Brody.
Me neither.
I need to dive in.
No idea.
That's one of the ones on my list.
Yeah. Sure.
Anything else that we can add to this before we move on? Anything else on the board?
Well, there, Daniel Price says, "Hell yeah, Barry Windham counts, homeboys." I mean, Barry Windham was one of the best versions. He was in one of the best versions of the Four Horsemen. He was a perennial U.S. champion in WCW. He feuded with the best of them. I mean, he invented the superplex, for God's sake.
Right.
I mean, he was one of the first big men to be really agile even before Taker.
Yeah, because you could also, I mean, you can count Terry Gordy. I mean, I'm not saying top 4, but he was a big man, and he, you know, the Freebirds, he held them. He was their muscle,
Right,
pretty
but
much.
he was a big man, but he was all that. Freebird is all that he had.
Well, he kind of, you know, lost his health and died a little
Well,
bit.
no, yeah, I mean, you know,
Did you say died a little bit?
Oh, Nina has a good one here. Haystacks Calhoun.
Oh, and Giant Baba.
Yeah, Hillbilly Jim was he was a gimmick character.
He was fucking huge.
He was massive. Oh yeah, it still is.
All right, these were all very good names.
Yeah, so that was a good conversation.
That was fun. Yeah, thank you. And if you guys want to participate or anything, please send in more emails or voicemails like that. So we can do this again.
I loved it.
Right? Me too.
Yes.
Fork.
I was going to say that.
Diaper.
You stole my line, you mother
You can say
effer.
it again.
Fork you, Ryan. Fork you.
It's like old Pee Wee's Playhouse.
You said the magic word.
This is iTunes.
Advertised for NXT next week, we have my man Aleister Black in action. And you know what? Since he's got a great entrance, right? I don't think I've talked about this before either, right?
Oh, no, not at all.
Love it.
Done by Long Island band Incendiary. Their new album comes out tomorrow, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Cinco de Mayo, yeah. Go give that a listen. And then we also have Hideo Itami versus my man. I don't know. He's not really your... Robbie, he's not your man.
I'm just not that high on him.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Hideo Itami versus Roderick Strong for the #1 contendership for NXT Takeover, which so next week that's a pretty good lineup so far.
I'm telling you, I think Aleister Black has it.
Ooh,
I do. I think he is destined for great things. His entrance is awesome, that's the first step. His way he plays his character is awesome. The second step, but I also believe that character is. I think it's organic to him. I think it's who he is.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And his wrestling style goes right with it. I mean, might not be the biggest guy, but his appearance makes him look 5 inches taller than he is.
Yeah, when I was in Ohio in February, when I took one of my fellow friends who's an indie wrestler to one of the gigs up there, I noticed that they had Aleister Black on quite a few shows, or Tommy End, back when it was his indie name. And I asked my Ohio guys, I was like, is that how he acts? And they're like, oh, no, yeah, that's him, 100%. I mean, he lives the music. He's kind of dark and brooding. It's just so natural for him.
I don't want to stroke any other shows or anything, but if you do have a second, listen. The interview that he does on Cabana's podcast is very it's a very good one if you want to know anything more about Tommy End or Aleister Black.
Yeah. Okay. I would love to. Real quick, where was it here?
Yeah, what did we miss?
Bitch Brian said that how could we have a big man combo without Mark Henry? And JVL Shadow said Viscera within that conversation too. Which, yeah, still great contributions to the industry, but I just don't think they're in the top 10 conversation. So
yeah, nah, maybe top 20.
Yeah, I love them. I mean, both of them. I mean, especially Henry. Henry's test of time, but no.
No pay-per-views this weekend, so next Monday we'll have our Rawsome show with these two jokers and a couple other who else? Stevie Awesome,
and maybe Medine,
and maybe
Medine. Last week we did our what we call it, our speed round was the best version speed round, where we did our best versions of Undertaker. So we're gonna do that one again. And we're going to try to figure out. We'll let you know on the kind of like the pre-show announcement kind of thing we do on social media who it's going to be. But just get ready for that. Best versions of somebody.
Yes, best versions. And also Tuesday night we'll have our SmartDown show with myself, Mr. Adam Bomb and his fellow Bomb Squad brethren.
Boo.
I forgot who said it on the board. I think it was Juan. Juan said, "Adam, what did it say? Adam Bomb, the monotone Jew who leads the crew."
That's a very good one.
Yeah,
it's a very good one.
Yeah.
And then we also, I'm not going to say it because at this point it's becoming almost like an Emelina promo. So we do have some things in the works. So stay put. We promise. We promise. We promise. This isn't a lie.
Yeah. What was the name of that guy we were talking about before the show?
Who?
The one who wanted us to do the interview with him. What was his name?
Well, I don't know what his ring name is.
I
don't know if that's his real. Is that his real name?
His name is Josh Cooper.
Josh Cooper.
I don't know if that's his ring name.
Well, that's what I was going to hold off. But there,
he randomly messaged the page and said, "Hey, I'm an indie wrestler. I have X experience. Interview me." So, fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
There we go. So I guess, guys, on the board you can. Wow, we got the fan going. You guys can start throwing up your. It's not last call. Your final takeaways. Last call.
He's got a puke!
I am.
You said thrown up.
Oh, that's true. Good one. Start putting up your final takeaways. Anything else that we missed on the show? They put a Patrick Clark promo up there for Velveteen Dream.
Good. I like him.
Yeah.
I do. I didn't at first, but
because of that live event.
Yeah, he won me over at the live event. Absolutely.
He was so charismatic with it. He sold really well. I mean, he sold like a champ. He kind of reminded me of like when The Rock would sell the stunner amazingly. He just sold everything and just so over the top.
Yeah.
It was just hilarious.
But it was great. It was a really good match, really good sells, really good chemistry. I think Patrick Clark has, and I can't believe I'm saying it. I really can't.
He's got a chance.
I think he's got a chance to make a name for himself.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I thought you were going to say it again. He has.
I'm not saying he has it.
He might eventually.
I think he has
the chance to have it.
Wait, he has something. There you go.
Okay,
something.
Yeah.
And we also had Kona Reeves show up. He was in that match with Hideo Itami.
He's not bad.
Not bad. We saw him at the live event too. Decent.
Yeah, he did his character well.
He's a good heel. He's got some charisma.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm glad on the NXT shows he doesn't take as long to walk through the ring as he did in the live show.
Oh my
God. Thought he was fucking Randy Orton. It took him like 3 minutes to get to the ring, and he wore this like horrible like seashell looking like necklace with a bunch of balls on it. It just. He doesn't wear it on the actual NXT shows, thank God.
He's from Hawaii, man.
I don't care.
No, we looked it up. He's actually Asian.
No way.
Yeah.
Jose.
I don't know what kind of Asian, but he's Asian. They're playing a Hawaiian gimmick.
Like a Hawaiian Asian?
That's not Asian.
Oh. All right, so I guess we can get to our final takeaways. Which one of you guys wants to take it away?
For me, my final takeaway is I'm giving myself a homework assignment.
Okay.
I am going to find 5 of the best Roderick Strong indie matches, and I'm going to come here and show them to Rob so he can really see like how good he was in the indies, because you know a little bit, but I just want you to see like what I saw. Like I saw him live.
Yeah.
I didn't really know who he was that much, and I saw his live match, and no matter what he does in the future, like I'm a fan of his, because it was, I know you say his work is good, but I really want you to see how good his work is.
I mean, I don't know what point you're going to prove. I mean, I've seen him have really good matches.
I just want to watch some indie wrestling with you, buddy.
Oh, cool. I'm down with that. Shit. Yeah, okay.
Can I come?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we are the indie guys.
You know what you have to do, and this is what I used to do too, but I kind of slowed it down a little bit. You just have to text him at random times during the day and just send him links for YouTube matches.
But it was like 3 weeks before I finally started watching him with you. Like, okay, he's not going to stop. You know.
Not going to stop.
JVL Shadow's final thought on the board. 205 either needs a roster infusion, a la DIY, Kenta, Roddy, Kalisto, or to go away. It's really confusing having cruisers in every division and giving them their own division. I think that. Well, take Kalisto out of that. I think Kalisto could go do something else for a living altogether. Daniel Price, takeaway. I really hope Itami does not get passed up just because Strong is a prettier package. For us old school technical wrestling fans, let him be the one to beat Rude.
No.
Noah. He actually typed that. I didn't watch this week, so. Fuck you, IWC nerds online that say Charlotte is ugly. I should have read that.
Oh, you should have read that. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Hey, it's out there.
Okay, here's the deal. We all saw. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
We all have our opinions.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it.
No.
They're all opinions I had before I saw pictures. So it's not like it changed it at all.
I do wish I could share that that picture.
That picture you made. that was funny.
Dude, I actually thought it was going to be real ones, and I actually looked up Ric Flair and blank, and then you sent the actual picture. I was like, oh. Then I showed my mom, and she was dying.
Allegedly.
Takeaway for Bitch Bryant. Wait.
Meet Bitch Brian.
Strong should have never had his promos about his life. Should have stayed as one who didn't talk and just kicked ass like Benoit.
You know, more like I always saw him as like a Dean Malenko.
I said that to Adam last night. I said he reminds me of Dean Malenko, and he should just stop talking like Dean Malenko did.
Be the man of 1,000 backbreakers.
And Paul Smith, real quick takeaway: Strowman should be world champion. Different show, but
valid point.
But I agree with you 100%. My takeaway, Brian, is that I am really excited about the kind of the tease of the women's division growth that it gave us last night. Right? It gave me growth.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I'm excited about Candice LeRae. I'm excited about Bianca Blair. I'm excited about the Marine chick. Me being a Marine, I like to see her do her thing. And we'll see where this goes with women. On the other side of the coin, I'm a little disappointed that we haven't seen some of the call-ups for the tag division that we know is coming. Not just the one I keep referencing, but there are other tag teams that are sitting in the back just waiting to be announced, who've been doing it for a while. I want to see the tag division start to grow again as well.
Yeah. Great point.
Thank you.
And finally, my final takeaway. I'm just going to stick with this show specifically. I thought this was it was a good episode of NXT. But what it really did, I think, it really kind of planted the seeds for next week. Big consequences coming up with the Roderick Strong and Hideo Itami match, because it's going to lead up to. And Golda, you said I was surprised. What is it? You said a week and a half away.
It's the 20th, so I think it's
Takeover?
2.5 weeks.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. May 4th, right? May the 4th. Yeah,
May the 4th
that's
be
what
with
people
you.
say, right?
That's today, isn't it?
That's today.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
And my second final thought is at 10:30, I will be at the AMC on South Boulevard watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh,
I beat you by a day.
Look at you guys.
Me and Adam are going tomorrow.
I'll be watching the 1997 Royal Rumble. I'm talking. What?
I don't care.
What? Am I what?
Okay, Adam.
Are you going to come hang out with us tomorrow night for the Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah. Oh. We already talked about that.
You didn't RSVP in the text message thread at all.
I didn't know I had to. I thought we were just conversing.
We were, but you didn't say if you were going to come or not.
I said I'm working, but I will. Maybe I didn't say that. In my head, I said I will show up afterwards.
I mean, he will be doing that, Rob, but just by himself
Jesus
alone.
Christ.
Okay.
And my final thought to continue.
Nerds.
No, I'm just excited for next week, and really, I'm excited for Takeover. All right. That was a great show, guys. Thank you for listening, everyone out there. And if you didn't listen, thank you for not listening, whatever that means. On social media, you can follow us on Twitter at SmarkMarkShow, www.markedoutwrestling.com. Our email is markedoutpodcast@gmail.com. Fan line, 704-444-0084. Did I add an extra 4 in there?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
At Marked Out Rob.
Yes, at Marked Out Rob.
At Matt Golda.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And at Marked Out BT is for me, and our Instagram at Marked Out Wrestling.
You got them all right. Yes.
There we go. I finally did it.
Wow.
I finally did it. I want to. Never mind.
Well, once we go off the air, I think they're going to do the heavy machinery finish on me, so I'm going to run.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for participating on the board. And please, yes, go
one more. We need 21 more followers on YouTube.
Is it only 21?
21 more followers on YouTube to put Mr. Steve Awesome through a table. So if you're watching this in podcast land and not YouTube, search Marked Out Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Find us, subscribe. We're trying to put that old fucker through a table.
Very true.
Dudley Boy style.
Yeah.
We're 3D in his ass.
Yeah.
Very true. Yep. Thanks again, guys. And as for us, we're going to make like a banana and get the fuck out of here.
Go away, fat man.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.